Today, I want to share with you 5 stories to help you learn from the biggest mistakes in my finance career and help you avoid the same fate. If you're new here, I'm Mike. I'm a senior finance leader. I've worked in companies from the Fortune 100 to brand new startups over the last decade, and along that way, I have made some big mistakes. And I see a lot of people that I coach, mentor, and lead making these same mistakes. So what I want to do today is I want to share with you these stories that honestly I prefer not to think about, but I want to help you avoid that same fate. Before we get started, if you're new here, make sure to give this video a like and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our content. Also, this Real Talk series that I'm doing is new and it's coming mixed in with all of our automation tools, finance, career advice. So let me know down in the comments if you like this Real Talk or if you'd like to see more of our tips and tricks. The tips and tricks will still be there. We're just going to mix in some more of these kind of, I'll call them, fireside chat Real Talks. So with that, let's get started. My first mistake was that thinking school prepared me for the workforce. Here's the sad reality, and if you're out of school, you might realize this, but maybe you're going to go get an MBA, maybe you are just fresh out of school. School does not prepare you for working in the finance field, and here's why. In school, when you build a financial model, there's a correct answer. You get the model right, you get the answer right, you get an A. Nice job. In the real world, that is not the case. These very technical solutions, sure, you need to understand them, you need to understand the technical solutions, but the work isn't about doing it exactly right. The work isn't about following the technical. The work is about getting people to buy in. And I completely missed this early on in my career. People would ask me to make assumption changes to a forecast model or a deck that I was doing, and I would lose it. This is the appropriate way to do it. I use this method that I learned in school. How could you say this isn't right? Because it's not about the technical aspects. It's about getting people on board, getting assumptions people are comfortable with, and leading them with data, but being willing to compromise and meet in the middle. And I completely blew it on this front. The other thing is that I thought I knew more than a lot of people because they weren't using these really technical solutions. They weren't applying these technical things I learned in the way that I thought they should. The thing you have to remember is the finance is about the context and the people, not the exact numbers on the page. Although I do love numbers and they're important too. But it's about balancing the technical stuff you know how to do with the reality of the complex world where things are typically gray and not black or white. In a similar vein, as I grew my career, early in my career, I way over focused on technical skills. I spent so much time learning Excel, learning how to link up PowerPoints, learning all kinds of financial modeling techniques. And then as a senior analyst, I hit a wall because the technical skills really only take you through the analyst levels. Sure, you need some level of technical skills to be a manager, but as you go up levels, especially as you want to move into the manager and even more so at the executive ranks, all that really matters is your soft skills, because basic technical skills are kind of taken for granted. But those really advanced tech skills, the advanced data analytics, the dashboard building, all of these things tend to be done in the analyst ranks. So it's really easy to fall into a trap of focusing on technical skills. I know I certainly fell into that trap, and completely neglecting the soft skills. So what soft skills do you need to work on? Well, you need to work on influence. That is a big one, getting people on board with what you're proposing. You need to work on communication, clearly articulating your data, your ideas, what you found. And you also need to work on relationships, being able to relate to people, have people to call on, and building these relationships even when you're in positions of having to give bad news or budget cuts or what have you. Do not ignore the soft skills. The other thing is technical skills. You can sit down, you can watch a YouTube video, hopefully one of mine, you can go to LinkedIn Learning, and you can learn the technical skills because there's a process, there's kind of a step-by-step. But with soft skills, the really only way to learn it is to do it. So you have to start learning soft skills as soon as possible. You have to put yourself out there for projects. If you need practice presenting, ask to give presentations. Join a Toastmasters. You have to get experience and reps. There is no other way to do it. Number 3, ignoring office politics. I thought office politics were the stupidest thing. I thought that the people who worked the hardest should get promoted. I thought that the office politics were just a distraction that didn't really mean anything. But here's the deal. And I still don't really like this, but I understand it. The office politics game is happening whether you like it or not. And you are working within that environment. There's politics of the operations, there's politics of the finance teams, there's politics between different people within the finance organization at different levels. And the truth of the matter is, people hire and promote people that they like, and people hire and promote people that they know. They do not want to take a chance on someone they don't know. So, when you feel like you're being passed over for promotion opportunities, you might be the better worker. You might be, as we said earlier, the more technical person. But are you known by people? Do you have people vouching for you? Do you have people supporting you and supporting your projects before you ever walk in the room? I completely discounted things like this earlier in my career, and it cost me dearly, to the point that I left a job that I kind of liked because I felt like I should be getting promoted, and I ended up in a pretty bad situation, and it took me, honestly, years to recover from that. So don't ignore office politics. It does matter. No matter how much you think it shouldn't, you have to play the game if you want to get ahead. Next, I want to talk about losing sight of the big picture, and I want to talk about this in two different ways. The first is losing sight of the big picture as you are part of the company and of the finance organization. And the second is losing sight of the big picture of where your performance is relative to the organization, what the organization needs. And these are kind of intertwined. I got really frustrated when I was a senior analyst and hit a plateau in my career. And I got frustrated because I was looking around and all of the people around me who were at the level ahead of me, I felt like I was doing better work. I was working harder, I was getting great feedback, I would ask for constructive feedback and I wouldn't really get any. I felt like I was outperforming the people around me. And truthfully, in that situation, in that room, I probably was. The challenge was twofold. First, the work I was doing was fantastic within my team and my scope, but that was just one small part of a giant company, and my impact wasn't being felt outside of my area. Sure, inside that area, I felt it. The business partners loved me. I was driving a ton of value in that area, but that value wasn't being felt anywhere else, which means executives didn't know my name, even hiring managers didn't know my name. My impact wasn't getting out there. The other thing I was missing is that I was looking around at the people around me who had also been kind of in that area for a long time. And what I was missing is that when hiring managers were looking to promote, they were looking across the entire organization. That meant that they were looking at people who had more skills than me, who knew more people than me, and most importantly, had worked in different roles than me. I strongly believe that everyone in finance should spend time, if at a minimum, in consolidations roles for a segment, a business unit, what have you, and in operations finance roles, because you really need to bring those together. It's a bonus if you spend some time in corporate FP&A, where you have to deal with things like the balance sheet, cash flow, all of these really financy concepts. But at the minimum, a business unit or segment consolidations team, and operations finance. And I had only done the operations finance. I quickly realized when I jumped ship for a promotion that I knew so little and I was not competitive. I had a lot of really long days and hard nights to catch up my skills. Whereas if I had had the humility, I would have taken a lateral to one of these other teams, more people would have known me, I could have expanded my impact, and that would have led to a promotion without having to leave the company and going through what I went through. The last thing I want to talk about is trusting everyone. And I do mean not trusting everyone, but there's another layer to this that's really, really important. Yes, first of all, you do not want to trust everybody with your secrets, with your job changes, with your career goals, with things happening outside of work. You need to be just generally cautious. You want to trust the right people, but you want to be cautious. But what I really mean here is not associating yourself with the wrong people. Don't trust the wrong people with your career. There are good leaders, there are mediocre leaders, and there are bad leaders. You want to do everything you can to associate yourself and align with the good leaders and get yourself away from the bad and mediocre leaders. You will have to work with everybody, but you want to be thought of with people who can help your career, who are trusted and respected, and who will lift you up. You want to surround yourself with people in the organization who will say to you what they're saying to other people about you. Now, I do not say this in a way of just, again, saying don't trust anybody. It's about look at the person you're talking to. Is this person well respected in the organization? Do other people value this person? Does this person seem valued by their boss? Do you deep down trust this person with your career? Find as many of those people where the answer to all of that is yes, and then follow them as closely as possible, because good leaders can save your career. I know that was true for me. A bad leader froze my career because they didn't want to lose me, because they didn't want to, not have my support there on their team. And a good leader went and saw me working hard, saw me delivering impact, and created a promotion opportunity for me that completely changed the course of my career. Find those people, do great work for them, support them, make their lives easy, and then those are the people you can trust, and find as many of them as possible. If you take away just one thing from this video, I really hope it's that you understand that the world of finance and the world of really any corporate job is gray. It is not black and white, it is gray, and there are so many levels there. And everything you look at is just so much more nuanced than you can possibly imagine. I've left jobs because I was frustrated with the problems and the things I didn't like at those companies, only to go to other companies to find out that they had worse problems. What you have to understand is it will never be perfect, but it's about finding the best in every single situation and then aligning yourself with the best possible people and driving the most possible impact. If I can leave you with one last bonus tip, it's this. My career took off when I stopped focusing on my next promotion and started focusing on driving the most impact in my current job and making my current boss look good. I certainly hope you found this video helpful. It's pretty painful for me to share this stuff, quite honestly, but I really want to save you from all of the trouble that I went through. So I really hope you take this to heart and use some of this out in your finance career. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss a single one of our unfiltered finance videos. I post a long form video every Monday, and I post a short video every single day of the week. Have any questions on your finance career or how you can put some of this into practice? Leave a comment down below. I read and respond to every single one. That's it for today. I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, this is Mike signing off from F9 Finance. Cheers.